charge might transform mere failure into catastrophe. Better if he ran the show. Pax, his boss, the mystical romantic, agreed and insisted they push ahead. Forces of evil were aligning for a fight. He wanted a head start and a decent chance of coping, even if the plan was harebrained. Obliged to listen to BS of that nature, Touton's response was a protracted sigh, which got his feelings across, if not his point. He had survived his own fight against evil, a conflagration known as World War II. He didn't believe the battle anticipated by Pax would be more than a skirmish by comparison. Pax was a civilian, a bureaucrat, brilliant in his own way, a courtroom wizard. But what did he know of war, of evil? An ardent reformer, Pacifique Pax Plante, commemorated as the Eliot Ness of the Montreal police service from the 40s into the 50s, taking a page from Chicago of the 30s, stood a head below the mayor, yet head and shoulders above the chief of police. The chief would not be informed of their gambit. Only a trusted few would be privy. Their operation had to be that strict. Pax insisted, and Touton did too. Even the mayor, a valued confidant, was kept outside their inner circle, although Touton pointed out that too few were involved to form a circle. "Fine," Pax deadpanned. "Will be a straight line." The other person who helped form their straight line was the sacrificial lamb, the one ready and willing to be gutted and hung on a rack, the one willing to be bled dry, the one standing in the dark in a coal room, full of ambition and, in this environment, as blind as a bat. A fine young man, according to various accounts. In time, all mayors decamped. Police chiefs, too, some in disgrace. Men like Plante might die young. A slaughtered lamb, though, could be eternal, even if its life proved short. With luck, the lamb might escape bleeding out on a platter. One way to spare him that fate was to shock his senses first. Touton would meet the guy, assess his character, plumb his will, determine his chances of survival, maybe coax him into changing his mind. He'd been forewarned. The new man was a mule. Pax maintained, "He won't be swayed by you, Armand. Imagine that." But Pax knew he'd try. Perhaps he was counting on Touton to do exactly that. The meeting was set up between the police captain and the neophyte. Touton chose both the site and the terms of engagement. The young man's name had not been revealed to him. Not yet. He might be advised of it, eventually, but by then it would likely be an invention. He hoped the man wouldn't be reduced to a code word like apricot or lynx. If a man was going to die on him, he'd prefer to inscribe a proper moniker on his gravestone. In his head, he took to calling him the guy, although he couldn't bury him under that name either, and tried not to think of him as an innocent lamb being prepped for the slaughter. His code name better not be Lamb or Easter. In a moment of honesty, Touton admitted that he wanted to meet the guy. Somebody willing to sacrifice his life without a specific cause might be worth looking at square on. He'd make his own evaluation then. How much of the man was composed of courage and conviction? How much hell-bent on self-destruction? What balance had he struck between those two prevalent and competing forces? How long would it take for the man to be torn apart before his psyche, a shrink's good word, was shattered? He'd talk to him first, in the dark, both men distilled to their marrow as disembodied voices, before switching on the overhead and glaring into his eyes. "Is there no light?" the invisible recruit inquired. "You want to live in darkness. That's the idea, no?" "In a way, I guess so. Yeah." "Make up your mind." "It's made up." "I heard that too." "You want to know why?" "I don't. Why should I?" Touton baited him. "Really?" the recruit asked, then inquired again. "There's no light?" "Later, maybe. When you're ready. If you're ready." "I'm ready."